just before we start. This is the groundbreaking moon. If ever there was a moon where you were to embrace the wisdom of the moon cycle, it's this one. So before we get started, I just wanted to highlight that for you and say, Virgo is out of this world. Although it's all about this world, it's about getting so deep into this world, into the roots of this world, into the mechanics of how the natural world works, that you become an intrinsic part of that root system. So I just wanted to, before I got ready, just tell you this so that it's really clear before you watch and scroll and perhaps, contemplate the questions lightly, but maybe don't make the full time this moon to really embrace it. I just want to tell you to do that. Embrace it, take it in, and ask as many questions you can about getting into the cycles, because Virgo is our portal into the root system, into the earth, where the next 12 months begin to grow. So at the end of the summer, we're entering into this sort of down into the depths of the earth system. We're beginning to release the fruit of this year, whatever that might look like for you. The seeds are coming, and those seeds are the life that you're going to see in 12 months' time, that you're going to have been celebrating in 12 months' time. This is why I'm doing this little highlight news flash. If I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and said those repetitive cycles are the next 10 years of your life, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you'll get a sense of how quickly life's going. It's flying by. And if we get our roots in, you'll see time start to change and transform and deliver everything to you that you've ever dreamt of. So, let me go and get ready and I'll be back. Enjoy the opening sequence. Just fly into that ocean and I'll see you in a minute. Here we fly on our gorgeous earth plane around the sun, the moon going around us, this gorgeous blue and green earth plane that is our home. Now we are arriving at the new moon in Virgo. Our earth plane has arrived in a new destination, and we are preparing to fly on a new journey. Every moon we enter a new journey, and that is not invented by us at Butterfly Airways. We are but a channel, you could say, to align you with what already is. The airways are the lunar and solar cycles. We didn't invent them. We're just here to show you where the lights are, where the doors are, where the emergency exits are, and to awaken you to all the gifts, all the goodness, all the beauty that is waiting for you and for your mind and your eyes to perceive. The Virgo moon is an earthy moon, and so this moon could, to anybody not awake and on a higher earth plane. So we have two levels to exist on this earth plane. We can be in the lower mind cocoon earth plane, which is where caterpillars turn into butterflies, or we could be on the higher earth plane for awakening butterflies inside their cocoons and butterflies released from their cocoons. So these earth planes have different levels. You may have heard about this before in terms of ascension or raising your vibration or having a higher frequency. These are our sort of simple ways of describing two different levels of existence. The lower earth plane, where things seem to be obstacles in your way. The higher plane, where everything is seen in a more transcendent sense, that everything is with me. I am part of everything. Everything is serving me and I am serving everything else. That's a butterfly life. The caterpillar is the one that feels stuck, feels that things are against it. So we welcome you on board the higher earth plane. This information is here to align you with that higher information and that higher way, that higher vibrational way of seeing your life, seeing what's happening to you and what can continue to happen to you in a much more beautiful and joyful sense as you have the senses and the energy system to receive it. Virgo is earthy, as we say. And as I was telling you before I even brushed my hair, I had a shower this morning. It is, wow, it's the backbone of the zodiac. It's where it all begins. Think the seed of life. Think the seed. Think the plan of humanity. It's all encoded in the Virgo moon. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, I keep talking about blueprints, and I happen to have one here. For me, I mean, this is an architectural blueprint for a building, but the way I perceive life is that humanity has a blueprint and an ultimate ideal way of living. And for that to be true, it also stands to reason that every single human has a blueprint for their pure potential that would serve the whole humanity's pure potential. Just as every animal, every tree, every cactus is serving the outer, as part of its nature is to serve the whole. It's how we breathe, it's how we eat. Everything is giving us life. And everything is receiving what it needs to give life to us. And that's the same for us. We are here to serve the whole, and we are here to receive from the whole. We receive what we need, which is pretty unique, and we give of our unique self in our perfect and whole way. That is the pure potential of humans, and that's the higher earth plane that I'm talking from. The lower earth plane is this cocoon life that most of us, if we're honest, are in still, because we're still seeing things from a third dimensional way. You, me, money, work, I need this, you need that. Of course, we're living in that reality now more than ever. But as we shift how we understand that which is happening in the third dimension, we start to rise through higher levels of understanding, and we arrive in the higher plane with the exact same conditions but a different sense of what they are. We're not hitting life, we're flying metaphorically. And every single moon cycle, and you'll hear me repeating this every time we meet, every single moon cycle is a repeat of the moon going round us, but it's a slightly different energy because of the position of the sun, because of the position of us. It's a slightly different ingredient, it's a different flavour, it's a different nuance to help grow us and show us and hold us in those slightly different, every moon cycle, different way, to grow a different part of us, to release a different part of us, to open a different part of us, to drop another part of us, to realise another part of us, and round and round and round we go. Just like a caterpillar needs to be inside that cocoon, going through all its breaking down ways to not be a caterpillar anymore. It knew it had to be in that cocoon. And that's what we find ourselves in. We think we're stuck. The caterpillar, because it doesn't have a conscious mind, it doesn't fight against that cocoon. It just follows its instinct to break down. Our instinct doesn't tell us to break down. It tells us to fight back. It tells us to struggle. It tells us to do better. It tells us to worry. But if we were a caterpillar without a human mind, we would just get on with it. We would listen inside our body. We would naturally release resistance, grow a new form, grow a new body, no longer need the cocoon anymore, build up the inner strength. Poof, we're a butterfly, we're a butterfly, we're a butterfly. Releasing resistance is the art, and every different moon cycle we're being taught how to do that in a slightly different way. So how did you get along in Leo, the new moon in Leo? How did you experience joy and the fruit of your life? Because that was how life was teaching us to break down our resistance in that moon. This moon's going to be different. We'll be breaking down our resistance in a different way because we're slightly more into our body now. We slightly need a different teaching. We need a different understanding to plant a different seed within ourselves to grow next year. Next year being the fullest of our potential. So we're in a waning cycle now. We're coming down. We're coming in. We've expressed ourselves this year in the summer. Just like every plant and flower. We've said, wow, that was the peak of me this year. And now I can't keep growing. I can't keep up at that standard. I need to go in and in and in and restore and realise and learn. And then next year I'll incrementally come out again. Such is the nature of repetition, of moon cycles, of waxing, growing, and waning, retreating and releasing. So we're in a release cycle now. So, from that joy, did you experience a sense of release? Did you feel a sense of oneness in yourself that perhaps you don't generally allow yourself to feel? Now, I know what these repetitive cycles are like. I've been following the moon for about 12 years now. And it may have been that last month you didn't fully embrace this wisdom. And that's okay. There'll be many more moons. Don't beat yourself up about it. That's the art of repetition. It takes us time. It takes us time to realise, okay? So you don't have to worry that it takes you time. What you do have to think about is every moon is different, and we're through with that now. You can't go back. Okay, you might want to meditate on joy and just be like, okay, let me just catch up a little bit. But we've shifted now. It's a different energy. As if the fruit is fallen from the tree. It's full of seeds and realizations. Okay? So that cocoon is now waiting to open in a different way in this moon. So, get on with it, Julie. What is it, this amazing moon you've been telling us about? Okay, well, we are coming back down into Earth. We've risen, and we're gradually going to come back down. Now, what goes down into Earth, if you can think of nature, what goes down into Earth that we would expect to grow over several months next year? Think about a seed, which is just like a blueprint. It needs to go back down, 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 to then over the next 6, 9, 12 months to grow again. Such is the nature of our own transformation. It's in and it's out. So we're coming in again. We're just starting to come in again, okay? Summer solstice was actually a full kind of rise, and then we warmed and we fruited and we expressed and we joyed and we loved and we shared and we expressed. And now we're like, wow, this is really cool. So you're saying that I could do more of that next year? I could be more of that next year? So what did I learn? What are my lessons from that? Let's take those. Let's think now, with Virgo being an earth sign, like a seed, like a rigid, stuck, practical kind of energy. Virgo in its extreme form is stubborn. It's it's strict, it's too self-critical and critical of others, it's too judgmental. But when it's conscious, it's a beautiful, firm backbone. It's the backbone of a business. It's the backbone of humanity. It's the backbone of the zodiac. It's the seed. It contains everything. It is like that cocoon. It's beautiful. So, what do we know from this joy that we expressed? There's a new us coming into the world, and that new us needs different things to the old us. To the you were a year ago, you're going to need new things. It's like you've updated your app. You're new. You've got new information coming through. Your butterfly is getting more and more ready to unfurl his or her wings. You're accessing deeper information, like you're getting through the pages of a really amazing spiritual book. Like, oh, there's something new occurring to me. I'm understanding things on a different level, on a higher level. I'm coming onto a higher earth plane. So, Virgo for me is about structure. It's about routine. It's about sticking to things in a divine way. Not sticking to things in a judgmental and critical way, but taking that energy and making it conscious. Taking that lower mind cocoon stuck energy and taking it onto a higher plane. What good can we do with stuck energy? We can plant a seed. We can create new routines for ourselves. We can be really stubborn with ourselves about what we need to do to keep growing into the person that we really are. So I'm going to create a meditation for you this month as well, so that you can really tune into what are these things that you really need to get stuck into this moon, so that during this waning few months, as you go in and in and in to renew and restore yourself and understand yourself on a deeper level, that those new routines that you're going to continue to stick to with self-love and harmony and conscious alignment with this beautiful planet which is clearly changing, that those are the routines and the roots that are going to help you grow into more of the fruiting you next year, to grow your wings, to feel more inwardly strong, so that you're grounded and centered to enter the world on this next new level, on the higher plane. Okay, so think about areas of your life that perhaps you've always wanted to have a healthy routine in a certain area. Maybe it's yoga, maybe it's dance, maybe it's singing or writing. Think about the things that you've always wanted to do, and perhaps you've been really hard on yourself, really Virgo on yourself about them. I'll never do that. They don't understand. I don't have the money to do that. I don't have the time to do that. Would you like to take that Virgo stuck energy and take it up to the higher plane and say, wow, what could I do with that? If I used it to serve myself and serve humanity. I'll give you an example. 2-3 years ago, I was doing yoga maybe once a week. I really had to get disciplined to do it. I had a fear about doing what was right for me. I didn't think either I deserved it, people would like it if I did it, I don't know. But the next year I was doing it 3 times a week. This year I've been doing it 5 or 6 times a week, and I've now started to add in workouts. This morning I've done my arms and my back. Yesterday I did my abs and my legs, and I've mixed that in with my yoga. There are other routines that are part of my life that I would never have dreamed of having in my life 5 or 6 years ago, because I was just beating myself up with that energy. I didn't know what to do with it. I was being too self-critical with myself and not understanding what that energy was really meant to do. That cocoon energy that was going over and over and over again, building more and more thick layers of cocoon. Actually, I lost 12 kilos, so I really did look like a butterfly in a cocoon. I had to break it down by getting that discipline to where it needed to go. So to make this moon really, really simple, I want you to think about where you're stuck and what you could do with that energy instead. If you stop being hard on yourself and hard on others, but instead use that hard energy to create wonderful routines for yourself. Because what you're planting by doing that is your new life for the coming 12 months. So in the meditation, I'm going to ask you a few questions about how you can get organized with that, how you can perfect that over the next 2 or 3 months, how you can release judgment on yourself if you don't do it this moon, if you don't do it next moon, if you do it maybe in December or it becomes a January new year intention, how you can just stop being hard on yourself and use hard energy for what it's meant to be, for grounding you, for centering you, for aligning you, for helping you stick to what you really need to stick to. I've got a ruler in front of me and I think, well, am I going to hit myself with the ruler or am I going to use it consciously? Like a divine plan. I'm going to measure out, I'm going to plan out time. I started off with 5 minutes of yoga, 10 minutes of yoga, because I felt like I can't really argue with a small amount of time like that. And now it's built up and built up into a regular long daily practice. And I'm a living example of a 50-something, because you may watch this in coming years, I'll just say a 50-something woman who is thriving from being really, really disciplined and hard on herself about self-care, okay? So what are you stuck in that you shouldn't be stuck on? Self-judgment, judging others, critical of others. And what could you be stuck in that would nourish you? Now, we're not just talking about health. We're talking about your finances. We're talking about your love life. We're talking about your home. What routines can you create in every area of your life that are going to help you loosen up the hard energy that's negative and put it into daily tiny little practices that are going to help open up your life, nourish your life? And what you are resonating at is what you are attracting. So as you take care of your life, life is going to take care of you. It is reflecting you in every minute. It can't give you butterfly gifts if you're still in your cocoon. It can't get through. You can't receive. So, does this make sense? Virgo is profoundly important. The backbone of it all. It's our seed going into the ground. It's giving us new life. It's the blueprint that is our butterfly self, that you can probably see yourself in your third eye living that life. Wow, what did I have to do to be that person, to be that bouncy, joyful, abundant, loved and loving person? What is she or he doing every day to ensure that that is the life that's coming back to them? Because it won't come back to you if you're not giving it to yourself. Mwah! Enjoy this meditation. Enjoy the moon. Communicate in the Patron page. Let us know what you think. And use the tools that help you to use the moon cycle in all its subtle frequencies, because it changes every day. We're giving you tools to work with the moon cycle so you can see, oh, maybe I don't build the whole routine in one day. Maybe I just do a little bit at each phase of the moon. Maybe the moon cycle is so intelligent that it shows me how to grow something over a whole moon, not do it all at once. It's about little bits. It's about tiny shifts in energy so that life becomes effortless. Effortless and easy, but with daily tiny acts of self-love and self-discipline. Enjoy the meditation. Love it. Let me check my notes and see if there's anything else that I'm supposed to say to you. No, we got everything. Enjoy, interact, love one another, support one another, release resistance to each other. This is a time on planet where we all need to get as many people as we can on this higher plane of unconditional love, and unconditional love includes you. Enjoy, butterfly, and we'll see you soon.